Welcome. It's a new week, so time for a new technical analysis. Like I always say, my technical analysis is of course interesting to see how I look at the markets, but the most important reason I share these analysis and my thought process is to teach, to educate you guys. I want to share the things I do with you so you can become a better trader. So last week we went into stocks. We watched a watch list of European and US stocks. Quite nice opportunities, but we had a very volatile week with the Trump tax plan and the situation around the FBI guy who confessed and is willing to testify against Trump. Well, that's all fundamental stuff, but it affects our trading. So it's a new week, so let's look at forex this week. I get a lot of questions about forex as well, so let's switch that up. This is the euro, US dollar. For those of you who have been in, let's go to the bigger picture. For those of you who have been in the euro dollar, know that we have been trending up pretty aggressive. This has been a very interesting trend. Unfortunately, I did not profit too much on this. I was waiting for a reversal. So it's a classic thing. Trade with the trend, and you get a lot of money. Sometimes getting in on a reversal, like over here, can make you some money, but it is pretty hard to trade. So this is the bigger picture. By the beginning of this year, there was the euro dollar started to shift after a long consolidation, moving within a zone. Price started trending, so the euro got stronger. The economy in Europe is doing okay. The quantitative easing is there are some signs that they will stop doing that in the near future. On the other hand, the US economy and the switch of the US president, all kinds of things that have some pressure on the euro dollar. So this is the actual pair we're looking at now. This is has been an uptrend. We can see that we had a top at 120, almost 121 level, where we took some time, took some correction. A classic head and shoulders pattern for those of you who are interested in those kinds of setups. This was the first shoulder, this was the actual head, then we got a second shoulder around here and a neckline. So by the break of this classic pattern we even moved lower, but this seems to be support for now at the 115.5. So this is not in play anymore because we have been breaking this trend line. We've retested this trend line as well, and we are heading back up right now. So this as a brief situation on the current move in the market. So this has been a nice descending channel, just to show you guys that this pair behaves pretty nice in these channels. So willing to go short, willing to go long, there's all kinds of things where you can get in and out of these trades. This is the daily chart of course. So for now let's go in. We've had a break of this trend line, and right now we are moving to the upside again. Also over here we'll get into some entries in a second, but just to show you guys that this is just trend lines I'm drawing on here. I can do the same for support. Of course, this is the ultimate support at the moment. This is the ultimate resistance at the moment. So make sure you got those on. This was the neckline around here, so I would want to take a look at this level over here as well. We got a nice cluster over here. Let me see if I can show you guys. This is a very interesting cluster. What is a cluster? For those of you who don't know, at least I call it a cluster. We have a trend line that got broken and retested, so this trend line has some meaning. So that's the first reason why price reacted, if you ask me. Then afterwards, because price reacted, we can draw this trend line, and this is starting to get some meaning as well because of this these three touches. So this gets so this is the second trend line that price is reacting at, and then of course we have this support zone that previous resistance as well. So this is a very interesting level to watch, and it held as support here again. So that's three reasons why price is reacting over here. So this is a very strong zone. Currently price moving up. We're gonna zoom in to the lower time frames, but first I want to show you the following. This is something I look at as well. This is the dollar index. Kind of the same thing. The dollar took quite a hit last year. So when we draw in the lines, we can see price the trend got broken. We started moving to the upside. So for those reversal traders out there, this was an interesting move, but it didn't last for too long. Price broke down again and is now looking to trade lower even. If this is an interesting level to watch because it acted as resistance but also as support quite a couple of times, and it looks like it's doing the same right now. This is just the dollar index to remind you guys. So, and another thing we can see over here, of course, is that we are seeing another potential. Maybe this is a right shoulder. Not really feeling it. I would like to see shoulder like this. And we have another inner head and shoulders pattern. So the continue down could be there. So that just to have a feeling. As we can see, we saw on the euro dollar that we were in a correction. Well, the dollar index was in a correction as well. So that's one clue. Now let's see how the euro futures are behaving. This is the euro was strong. Let's just keep it simple. The euro was strong, was moving up, no doubt about that. We had some consolidation, we had a drop, and now the euro is looking to get stronger again. So a weaker dollar and a stronger euro confirms what we are seeing on the euro dollar, and that's in fact this setup. Right now, as we are doing this analysis, it's Monday morning. We are seeing that price is reacting at this trend line. So let's zoom into the 4-hour chart, and we actually see a pin bar as well. So this is starting to get really interesting. Should have an eye out on this. So let's see where price will go. But there is actually some potential setup to me. This reaction point is interesting. Still room left to be trading this. Ideally, I would have wanted to take the trade a little lower, so my risk reward would have been a bit bigger, because this is of course a zone to watch, because if this breaks, then price will the setup won't be valid anymore. So that would have meant that this was our entry, and this would be the potential in this trade. So this is a nice nice setup on the euro dollar to me. If you are thinking to take this trade and you believe that price will continue to move higher, so when we switch back to the daily chart, this of course is also a very interesting setup. So maybe put in 1 or 2 trades on this one, and that's what I do from time to time, or 1 trade which I take off something around here, maybe half, and then if I think this trend line will hold, or this support line will hold, I re-enter. Maybe I already have an entry and I let this one run a little further. So something like that. Just an idea, just the way I look at the markets. I hope this makes sense. I'm looking at the bigger picture. I'm considering. I have some fundamentals in the back of my mind. Trade with the trend. We were in a correction. Correction seems to be over right now. So let's see what we can get on here. I am looking to maybe. I think this is interesting to draw on the charts as well, because if we see a further move to the downside, this line will most definitely cause a reaction again. So a lot of lines, a lot of things. I hope my process of drawing this is something for you to learn from. I will go in on one more chart. This is the Euro British Pound. Same thing. Price was trending for a while. Maybe I prefer to draw it like this, because we see that price really got some momentum breaking that trend line. Also correction-ish, yes, because price has been consolidating after the correction, didn't really take off again. So we are currently in a range. I picked this one for a reason, because the euro dollar is actually trending. We saw the correction and it looks like the trend is continuing now. This one was trending to the upside as well. We saw a correction, but for some reason this pair seems to have some difficulty breaking back up again. That being said, also here we just saw the euro futures, which shows us that the euro is picking up some momentum, but we see the same thing. It's quite choppy, but we see the same thing in the British pound future. So they're both strong. So that's the reason why this pair is not moving. If the euro was strong and the Great British pound was weak, then we would see a break up. They're both strong, so that's the reason they are within a channel, because both currencies are gaining some momentum at the moment. So this is actually a setup as well. So if we switch to the 4-hour chart, we know that we're in a range, and within that range we are near a support area. As you can see, there is some room left, so I don't know if I'm comfortable taking a long entry here just yet. One thing I know is that I'm not going to take a short entry, that's for sure, because we are at the bottom of this chart. The weak hands, they call it often. People see this happening. Quite choppy, quite volatile area over here. Lots of pin bars, so people think we're at the bottom of this move. Time for me to get in and to make some money. That's a good idea, but what you often see in markets like this is that we actually see one more spike and a touch of this support level, for example, to squeeze out all the people who couldn't wait, all the people who had a feeling of FOMO, the fear of missing out. So be careful. This is already the 4-hour chart, so this is really the chart where I make my decisions. It is Monday, so let's see what will happen within the next week. I don't do this very often, but let's see the hourly chart. The hourly chart to me looks kind of the same. We are still in this range, so not really ready to take a trade for me. So that's just my idea of trading. Let's change this a little bit. More transparent. So 2 scenarios for me. I want to see a break of this level, or I want to see a move lower first. For that we have to switch to the 4-hour chart and come near this area, and from this area out I'll consider to go long, and potentially probably to the midst of this area, because we see some support and resistance, and the second would be like this. So talking in risk reward, because that's what it's all about at the end of the day. Trade would look a little something like this. So we have a 1-2, just like that. 1-2 trade, same thing. This one all the way to the upside, and this one halfway, because we are expecting some trouble from there. So this to me could be a setup. It's a different setup. It's not a trend trade. It's not really a swing trade to go with the momentum. To me, this is a typical range trade, because price is within a range. It failed to break resistance a couple of times. It also fails to break support a couple of times. So we have to see where we'll be going with this from here on out. That's it for today. I hope this gives you some feeling in what to do, how to trade. Feel free to contact me through the website trader.com. That's trader with 3 R's, standing for the risk reward ratio. Trade risk reward ratio. Visit my blog. Contact me through the page. If you want help, just fill in the form, and let's see if I can get your trading to the next level. I'm convinced I will. So let's talk, and let's see if I can help you. For now, have a good week, trade safe, and see you in the next video.